Coming up, Indigenous characters are featured in children's television. From Spirit Rangers to Sesame Street, our youth see themselves. A visit to the Havasupai in the Grand Canyon. The legacy of a Ponca Leader is recognized on a postage stamp. And a history museum owns its past to make changes in the future. I'm Aaliyah Chavez. Join us for those interviews plus headlines from the ICT Newscast.
This program is made possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, a private corporation funded by the American people.
Arizona State University welcomes 3,500 Indigenous students from Arizona and across the nation. It serves one of the largest populations of Indigenous students among U.S. colleges and universities. We created a sense of place for tribal nations to create futures of their own making through community outreach and research, taught by world-class Indigenous faculty where they see a reflection of themselves and their experiences. Find community at ASU.
This is the ICT Newscast with Aaliyah Chavez.
Amadawa Hopa, thank you for joining us. We start today in Illinois, where a new education bill is soon expected to become a law. The Senate passed a bill that would require public schools across the state to teach lessons on Midwestern Native American history. The Chicago American Indian Community Collaborative is slated to consult on the development of the curriculum that would begin in the 2024 to 2025 school year. The legislation also requires representation from a Native American welfare organization on the State Education Equity Committee. This is the latest in a series of bills requiring Asian American, Black, and LGBTQ history be taught. Illinois is one of 14 states that does not have a federally recognized reservation. Governor J.B. Pritzker believes teaching history should convey the story of what actually happened in the country and the state. He is expected to sign this law in the coming months. Clean energy is a priority for the Department of Energy, and top officials were in Phoenix to meet with tribes about new investment possibilities. ICT's Mackenzie Allen Charmley has more on a visit from the U.S. Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm.
Meeting with tribal nations in Arizona, the U.S. Department of Energy announced awards of millions in grant funding to increase clean energy programs. A part of the Biden administration's Investing in America initiative, U.S. Secretary of Energy Jennifer Granholm emphasized the importance of investing in tribal nations.
And of course, to truly have the ability to take advantage of clean energy technologies, we also need to make sure that we improve the grid infrastructure across the country, but on tribal lands as well.
Officials from the nations of Navajo, Hopi, and the San Carlos Apache were in attendance. The over $50 million in funding set aside for tribes across 4 states will go towards infrastructure improvements such as undergrounding, power lines, and renewable energy infrastructure. For Navajo citizen Byron Shorty, the executive assistant for the Navajo Nation president, the visit means increased understanding.
It's really important because I think when it comes to the discussion about energy in and among tribal communities, we start to build understanding about what the future of energy is on the nation, especially the Navajo Nation. The Navajo Nation has a keen eye on energy development, and to that end, I think these discussions help people build an understanding of what energy means.
Many of the leaders addressed Granholm and the DOE directly, expressing both concerns and gratitude. When it comes to energy, investing in tribal nations is crucial, and for tribes in Arizona, funding means energy resilience.
For decades and generations, the Navajo Nation has been a solid exporter of energy and resources to the rest of the state, and has supported generations, including my own family. My father was an electrician. I think this discussion is just part of a larger conversation about what the Navajo Nation is looking to contribute to the state and to the region.
In Phoenix, Arizona, Mackenzie Allen Charmley, ICT News.
We now look to the sky, where eagles continue to die, while criminal cases for killing them continue to drop. The data comes as dozens of approved or pending permits would allow around 6,000 eagles to be killed in the coming decades. The enforcement of eagle protection laws fell off during the Trump administration, and a pending Biden proposal would streamline permits, making some automatic. Most wind farm permits are approved despite tribal oppositions, and many allow the accidental killing of eagles without penalty. Some companies currently take measures to prevent eagle deaths by using high-tech camera systems or limiting the amount of turbines in eagle areas, but many more turbines are going up. Wind energy is expected to more than double in the coming years, and a significant wildlife impact could follow. There's a new resource providing survivors and their descendants access to boarding school records. The Catholic Truth and Healing website is a guide detailing the operation of Catholic boarding schools specifically designated for Native American and Alaska Native children. It represents the first and most comprehensive source for information on the institutions operating before 1978 under the supervision of the Catholic Church. A group of archivists and historians compiled the list from historic directories, records from the Bureau of Catholic Indian Missions, and other online sources. The project is in response to the clear request from tribal nations to access archival records in Catholic repositories. Future revisions are expected as additional information is obtained. And those are the headlines for the ICT Newscast. The adventures of summer Eddy and Kodi Skycedar continue in the Netflix series Spirit Rangers. The second season of the animation was released earlier this month, and I interviewed the series creator Karissa Valencia. She shared her feelings about the good news. Let's take a look.
It's been incredibly overwhelming, I think. Animation takes a really long time, so I feel like we've been sitting on this beautiful indigenous secret with all of our animation ready to be shown to the world. So I've been really happy and really, elated that I get to celebrate everyone's hard work and everyone gets to see what we've been doing the past couple of years.
Tell us what to expect in season 2 of Spirit Rangers.
So season 2, we have our 3 main heroes are back in action. They now have some new villains called the Trickster Trio, where we're honoring different tricksters from various tribes. We also have some of our real life Native heroes in the show that are animated. We have an episode with Aaron Yazzie, mechanical engineer over at NASA. He is now animated visiting Coos Park, which is really fun. We also have a chief that visits the national park, voiced by Chief Gary Batten from the Choctaw Nation. So that's been really exciting to bring in our real life Native heroes into this world and give them that spotlight. We also have a incredible season finale that really honors, all the Indigenous folks and non-Indigenous folks that are fighting climate change. So that one is incredibly exciting.
You mentioned the NASA engineer Aaron Yazzie as part of the voice actors in season 2. Tell us why it was important for you to bring a character like him to this animation series.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite episodes. I think it was important to show again that, our people are here in the modern day space using modern science as well as our traditional ecological knowledge. So Aaron comes in with, his expertise at NASA, showing that you can be Indigenous studying the stars, remembering your Navajo stories, but also using modern technology. So it was really important for us to bring him in and show kids around the world that we're still here and we have really cool jobs and can use our science and power. And it's just, it was really fun to bring him in and have him voice himself as a cartoon.
I'm curious if the all-native writers' room from season 1 transitioned to season 2.
Yes, the majority did, and we actually added a few more, which was awesome. So we have new stories in this season that are from various tribes. We have a couple more Choctaw stories. We also have a Maori story that features Tamara Morrison, who is Boba Fett. Yeah, it's been really cool to expand the universe and just really celebrate different indigenous tribes all over the world.
You had previously said that you hope this show educates non-Native people about the modern Indigenous family. Do you think that you've accomplished part of that goal so far?
Definitely. Some of my favorite yeah, some of my favorite moments are just like taking in all the love from social media that we've received. And I think it's been really powerful for me to hear, non-native kids wanting to be Cody, Summer, and Eddie. They want to be heroes like them and they look up to them. They see them as heroes. They see them as friends. And that's really all I want. I just want them to, see us as existing now and that we can be heroes too.
I'm really curious if you can talk about the acclaim that this show has gotten. I saw that you were nominated for an Annie Award.
Yes, we were nominated for an Annie. That was really a special moment because our animation partners are Super Prod Animation, which are based all the way in France. And they, I always say they got the US Native American history course they never asked for, but they have worked so hard with all of our consultants from various tribes to make this show feel really signature and create a whole new Native world. So I was really happy that our art director, Marie Delmas, was nominated and that the show overall was nominated for Best Preschool.
You mentioned that this series was created for the preschool audience. Well, I have to admit that I've seen Spirit Rangers. I saw the whole first season and I love the whole thing, even though I'm not the demographic. I'm really curious for you, Karissa, how do you maintain creativeness in this space, specifically creating a world for young children, even though you're an adult?
Yeah, that's a really great question. I think a lot of the times when I'm writing or creating, I don't think about what preschoolers like in a way. Like I think about myself and what would baby Karissa like to have seen on TV? What would have got her excited? What would have wanted her to be that character for Halloween? Just so it's really authentic. And I'm just like very happy that we've been so rewarded with the Spirit Rangers and I'm getting to show like putting our language in the series, showing off a lot of our indigenous stories. So yeah, it's definitely a process. And I think like in addition to thinking about, the little you and what you would have liked, I have that side of me that is still writing other stuff that's not preschool. I think keeping my brain going in different areas is also helping the creative process.
Well, Spirit Rangers creator, Karissa Valencia, thank you so much. And please join us again in the future.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Many people know about the beautiful towering waterfalls in the Grand Canyon. It is the home of the Havasupai people, and tourism is the tribe's largest source of income. ICT's Paris Wise has the story about the people of the blue-green waters and efforts to restore their legacy.
My people were never allowed to come back here for many, many years.
This site is a popular campground along the trail for those hiking the Grand Canyon. For many years, it was called Indian Garden. Then, in 2022, the Grand Canyon National Park renamed the area Havasupai Gardens. Community members gathered here for a celebration of the renaming. This rededication honors the Havasupai who have called the area home for generations.
To have multiple generations here is very important to me because we need to pass on this work and responsibility to the next generation, and that they're willing and that they're committed to be here today and be patient and learn. That's what it takes to be a good person and a good leader and a good listener in the Havasupai way.
Many places across the United States are receiving name changes. It's been dubbed a historical reckoning. But we know change isn't always easy. It took years of lobbying from tribal leaders to get here. The Havasupai people were landless for a time due to forced removal. Ed Keeble, superintendent of the Grand Canyon National Park, said his team works with the 11 associated tribes of this area to mend these relationships.
That took some time to build some trust because of the history of how this land was established as a national park against the will of the people who've lived here from time immemorial. The effort to rename Havasupai Gardens was an important part of that trust-building exercise.
The next goal for the Havasupai is to work towards being involved in shaping how the Grand Canyon and its resources are managed. From Southern California, Paris Wise, ICT News.
The U.S. Postal Service unveiled a new Forever stamp that honors a legendary Ponca Leader. Chief Standing Bear is remembered for his courage and for winning a groundbreaking lawsuit. ICT's Shirley Sneve was at the unveiling and has this report.
Imagine that it's Christmas week, 1878. And your only son, a 16-year-old boy by the name of Bear Shield, is curled up on the bottom of a damp Army canvas tent in northern Oklahoma, dying of malaria. But before his eyes close in death, he begs his father to take his body back to their beloved homeland on the Nebraska Niobrara River.
Upon returning to Nebraska, Standing Bear was arrested. On May 12, 1879, a historic court ruling recognized Standing Bear and Native peoples of this land as human beings.
Many of us Poncas have known his story of our great chief and what that meant, the significance of once not being identified as a human, and what courage it took to walk into a courtroom, unknown foreign territory, really to ask for justice, to be treated like everyone else, and to return home to homeland. And if it had not have happened, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be in Nebraska.
This is my country. This is my land. The same land my grandfather and his brothers and his sisters gave their life for here today.
I think the greatest message was from Standing Bear's grandson that the greatest platform of life is love, and it gives us principle and foundation. And so that's a message that we have to spread and not take for granted. And as I just shared, we raise our family with the simple saying is love conquers all. And love and life is who we are in Nebraska.
In Lincoln, Nebraska, Shirley Snave, ICT News.
Two Native American families from Oklahoma are on Sesame Street. The Emmy Award-winning and Native-owned company Pursuit Films has produced a new Habits for Life initiative. It features healthy lifestyles and maintaining culture through language, art, music, and food. I interviewed the Cherokee producer, Jeremy Charles. Take a look.
Yeah, we have worked in Indian country for going almost 9 years now, and we work all over the country, all over Turtle Island, representing different tribes and messaging for Native peoples. And I don't know how they found us, but they, I guess, our work in this industry has resonated with them. So we were happy to collaborate with them.
Tell us about the families that are featured in these films.
Yeah, so. As you know, Sesame Street is is at the forefront of diversity and representation in media and for children, and really reinforcing positive models for children. And we did an exhaustive search for we started off as just wanting one young Native person. And it went so well that we ended up doing two. And we have Rainan Yellowfish of Oklahoma City. He's an Oto young man, just fantastic, confident. I think he is 9 years old, and a great soccer player, a great young leader. He's going to do great things. And also Wastate Hammer, an Osage from, they live in Skytook. But she is also equally amazing, confident, very in touch with her culture. And really, this was about incorporating their distinct Native cultures into a healthy way of living, and not only body and mind, but also cultural practices such as language learning and dancing. Both of them are dancers. Raynon is a straight dancer. He does actually several types of dancing and competitively at powwows. And Wastatse is very active at her at ceremonies dancing as well. So we kind of incorporated those into their stories. Sesame Street obviously has a very specific audience, and the important thing was that there were these children who were serving as role models for their younger siblings and younger community members and family members. Little Wastatse's young brother, Watsamoy, he was a little firecracker. He was amazing to work with, but she, is a great, loving big sister, and teaches him a lot, teaches him how to speak, and they're both interested in science. And so they have a lot of activities they do there. And Raynon is a very athletic young man, and his younger brother, we spend a lot of time playing sports with them, and he's also a great artist. So it's really about showing role modeling from an older sibling to younger siblings and family members.
You are actually one of the co-founders of OCO TV, which is the award-winning series of the Cherokee Nation, and it's been on the air for nearly a decade. What are some of your favorite episodes from that work?
Oh, I got to tell you, it's been one of the greatest privileges to do this program. I almost always gravitate to our elders, and something that's very special to us is being able to highlight the lives of fluent speakers and culture keepers. So I've got lots of aunties in the Cherokee Nation who look out for me and have taken me under their wing over the years. That's the most special thing that's touched my life personally. I think in all of our lives on the team is having those connections with the community.
You and some other Oklahoma filmmakers have been working on some different kinds of projects, some of them actually reaching mainstream audiences, like the Sesame Street project. Do you think that this has changed some stereotypes on Native Americans?
Absolutely. Our mission when we started this company was to raise the, attention to underserved voices and Native voices in media. And in the last 9 years that we've been doing this, we've seen a great change, a big difference in, I think the larger public realizes that Native stories are rich stories and interesting to people, and more people, not just Natives, want to hear Native stories. I think that's been proven now after a lot of resistance in Hollywood and in the media. I think finally we're getting to a point where yes, everyone wants to hear these stories. Human stories are great, human stories, and Native, Indigenous representation is just a new place that people haven't heard stories before. So there's a lot of hunger for it, a lot of interest in it.
I have to ask, do you anticipate this collaboration with Sesame Street continuing into the future?
Yes, actually, we hit it off. And with that team, such an amazing team. Beth Botchon is the lead there. We're actually working on another one with Sesame Street right now, and also casting children and grandmother.
Love that. Well, founder of Pursuit Films, Jeremy Charles, thank you so much.
Thank you.
A museum in Denver, Colorado says it will shut down a half-century-old Indigenous exhibit because it promotes racist stereotypes. ICT's Stuart Huntington has this report.
The Denver Museum of Nature and Science announced this month it will close its North American Indian Cultures exhibit that first opened in 1978. The hall reinforces harmful stereotypes and white dominant culture, the museum said in a letter to its members. In a statement posted on its website, the museum says the hall, created by staff both past and present, harms Indigenous people of North America. The museum further states that it is committed to healing harm and repairing relationships. The move comes after community members voiced concerns. Donna Christian, a consultant at the museum, says the coming changes are long overdue and welcome.
An opportunity to update an outdated exhibit, to have a community partnership along with Indigenous partnership and tribal consultation is long overdue. And I think that that is a welcome idea, and anything that moves us in a positive direction where Indigenous people get to share their own narrative and their own story is always a positive.
Chris Petrello, an assistant curator for anthropology at the museum, says the decision to shutter the hall came after a year of conversations with Indigenous community members. He says he thinks the move could be an example for other institutions.
I do believe that there is an opportunity here to not only rethink how the institution has historically approached this, but how all institutions have historically approached this. And what that looks like, we can't really say with any certainty, but I think there's an opportunity to enact meaningful change within our institution and institutions more broadly.
In Colorado, Stuart Huntington, ICT News.
The museum will shut down the exhibit hall this spring. It plans ongoing consultations with the Native experts and community members as it reimagines the exhibit. There has been no timeline set for when it might reopen. And that's a slice of our Indigenous world. For all the latest, visit ictnews.org. From all of us in the newsroom, stay safe, my relatives.
This program is made possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, a private corporation funded by the American people.